Well, this is Gray Wolf again. Had a real interesting day the other day. Got called to go up to Greenwater by the Sasquatch people. They put their calls in every once in a while. I'll hear it in my mind. Been mind speaking with them for 25 years, so they made that call out. It was time to go up the mountain, so I did. But a little different this time, because as soon as I got to their area, they were running next to my truck through the woods. I felt them. I went to look, and I would see them every once in a while, a face or a hand waving or a foot. But what they were doing is they were popping in and out of portals because of all the trees. It's so thick in there. So now I know why the natives have said they can travel 300 plus miles a night, because they don't just run around the trees. They'll go right through them. I'll pop a portal and go right through them. So as I was driving in, there was this one that was doing it, and every once in a while he'd have a big smile on his face, and they were giving me joy in my mind, and I literally broke into tears because it felt so good to feel the joy and happiness that I was coming up. Why, I don't know, because they still don't directly show themselves to me. I mean, they haven't come out and give me a hug or sit down and talk with me. I've been trying to get them to sit on a tree and just come out and talk. I mean, I know they're there. I know what they are. I know who they are. I know who I am. I mean, they've gifted me a lifetime in a dream one night. Popped into my head, yanked me out of my body. Went from birth to death as a Sasquatch. A full lifetime. And they were explaining to me why they gave me the stone that they gave me that's in my medicine bag. And they imprint their lineage into the stone. Not quite sure how they do that, but they do it. So the stone becomes a record keeper. And they keep those stones with them. So they gifted me the stone. Now I know why, because it was my stone from my lineage as a Sasquatch. Because my first, well, I can't say it's my first body lifetime. It's my second body lifetime was as a Sasquatch. So I lived this entire life from birth to death as a Sasquatch in the time of a dream, 8 hours. And when I woke up in the morning, it was like, what was I doing in this body? This body's naked. This body has no hair on it. It didn't feel right. I didn't feel right to be in my body. I didn't feel right that this was my body. I was supposed to be big. I was supposed to have the hair. I was supposed to be a Sasquatch. So it took me 3 or 4 hours just to get used to the body, and then 3 or 4 days to get used to being human again. Because it was like living an entire lifetime in the amount of 8 hours. And what you need to understand is that spirit world has no time. Time is a manifestation of this lifetime, this planet, this rotation of a planet around a sun that gives us day and night. And it was a creation of our people for time so you could work. I mean, I love the definition of native time. You eat when you eat. You get up when you feel like it. You go to sleep when you go to sleep. Take a crap when you need to take a crap. You go hunting when you need food. Basically, you just do it as what feels right. It's not about time. It's not about time. I know there's an old native saying is that only the white man would cut off the foot off the top of a blanket, sew it to the bottom of the blanket, and expect to have a longer blanket. You know, this whole idea of, time zones and different times didn't make any sense to them. It's like, sun comes up, you go work, do your day, sun goes down, go to sleep. They were more into seasons. They would talk about moon cycles. They would talk about, how many winters and how many springs. So, Sasquatch in a lot of ways is more native oriented when they live here. They live with the planet, they live with the animals, they live with the earth, and they feel the earth. So this whole initiation with them explaining to me about my lifetime may be why I'm feeling the planet like I'm feeling it. Because that other day I was feeling the shifts on the planet. It wasn't just me, it was the planet was shifting. The vibrational levels are shifting. My energy levels have been the energy that's running through me is so intense, it's ridiculous. I'm burning through my hands, I'm burning through my legs, I'm, starting to get sores again because I'm burning from the inside out. I've gone through this my entire life where energy levels would increase. Now it's just gotten ridiculous. I can do those long distance healings. I can send energy into you. They're teaching me how to open your pineal gland, how to open all your chakras, how to get your energy flowing, how to lock it in. They're teaching me all this stuff. Because I was just born as an empathic and heard animals talk to me as a kid. My parents didn't believe it, but, they were good Christians. They didn't quite understand this kind of stuff. So, I had to learn on my own. And then on my mom's deathbed, she shared with me about how they sent me to see a psychiatrist when I was 6 years old. Because I was adamant that I could talk to animals and they talked to me. And they were like, nope, you can't do that. It's not possible. It's impossible. See? So, to a child, you don't know any better. It's like teaching your child to not touch the burner. It's like, don't touch that. It's hot. So if we didn't teach them that, if we said, okay, the burner's not hot, you won't burn yourself, would the child burn themselves? I don't know. Because we're taught what's impossible. We're taught what's in our sight and in our touch and not what could possibly be. Because I've seen people firewalk and never burn their feet. While their clothes catch fire, but their legs don't burn. I don't get it. It's mind over matter. So if you can do mind over matter, you can walk through coals, I guess you could touch a hot burner and not burn yourself. I've seen medicine men that have reached into fires and pulled out a hot red stone and carried it into the lodge and never burned their hands. I've also heard about medicine men that could take a cold stone, put it in the sweat lodge and put medicine on it, and it turned bright red hot, and they run the whole sweat off of one stone. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that the Native American medicine men could do, including some of them even learned how to cure cancers because they asked the spirits what kind of herbal stuff works. So, here we go. We got the Sasquatch people who live with the earth. They got all these secrets, and they're teaching me. So now I'm doing videos, and now I'm teaching others. And if you want to believe me, that's fine. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine too. I'm not here to push anything on you. My religion, my belief, my spirituality, it's mine. It's what I do. So if you want to learn from these videos, you might just learn a few things. That last video, I was telling you what Sasquatch was. Now I'm sharing some experiences and how I experienced Sasquatch. Because it's really funny because I sense them. I know that they're there. I know some of the things they can do. They've shown me. One of the experiences was I was with a friend of mine. We were going to go do a healing ceremony. We were going to do pipe ceremony out on the White River up in Greenwater. So we went up there. We found a cut across. We found this spot. And obviously it was for us because there was a circle of trees that you could sit on. And then right smack in the middle was a grandfather, which is a lava rock. That's what we call the grandfather for Sweat Lodge. But it was heart-shaped, and it was black. So it was a gift to us. Love, that's what I figured. So I made sure to take it with us. But as we're doing pipe ceremony, and we don't smoke any funny stuff, we just spoke Consasha. Consasha's red willow bark. That's traditional for Lakota. So we're doing pipe ceremony. We're smoking our pipes. We're letting the smoke carry our prayers to the spirit. As we're doing that, I realized that the predator effect is going on in the background behind my buddy in the trees. So I know the Sasquatch people are there. And the predator effect, what I mean is that you see the forest, but it shimmers in the image of a Sasquatch. And as it moves, you can see it move and shimmer, sort of like the Predator on the movie Predator gives that shimmering image. That's why I call it the predator effect. It's when they're cloaked. It's when they're right behind it's like they walk through the veil. It's like the next dimension over. It's just right here. It's a really thin veil. So when they're walking in the cloaked form, it's inside the other veil of the dimension. You can see their shimmer. And that's how close these dimensions are. So what we do in this dimension affects them in that dimension. I've always asked them, why don't you just live in the next dimension over if it doesn't have any humans? That's what they tell me, is it doesn't have any humans, doesn't have any buildings, whatever. But whatever, no matter how many dimensions you go in that, what we do in this dimension affects the other dimensions. So if we destroy our planet here, it's going to affect them. If we start doing nuclear stuff here and we start, destroying it, it affects them. So they just go there sometimes, to sometime place, which means they pop in and out of the dimension, not as a portal. They just basically open the veil. It's like opening a clear sheet, and you walk through, and you can still shimmer. They can still see you, but you're just walking through into the next dimension, and that's how close it is. And that's what they've taught me. And there's ways of seeing that dimension, and I can share that in a different one. But as I was saying, we're having this pipe ceremony, and we're praying, and I see the shimmer and the predator effect, and all of a sudden I look up, and everything's frozen. I mean, everything's frozen. I look up, and there's a bird frozen mid-flight, hanging in the air, not moving, and they basically stopped time, okay? And then I look over, and the river's frozen. I mean, stopped. Mid-splash, stopped. And I looked at Mike, and I said, Mike, take a look. And he looks over and sees the bird and goes, oh my God, the bird is hanging there. The water stopped. This is, and then all of a sudden, a couple seconds there, boom, everything starts back up again. So they're basically showing us that they can stop time. They can literally stop time. Now, in ceremony, I have slowed time. Don't know quite how I do it, but I have slowed time. I know for myself that I can step out of time, I can step back, and if I step out of time, people don't see me. Now, am I cloaked? I don't know. I've never really done it in front of somebody. I just know that people tend to walk right into me. Oh, I didn't see you. Okay. So, what does that mean? I mean, is it just that you're blocking your spiritual essence and they don't sense you around them and they just walk into you, or do you actually cloak? I don't know. So I'm still working on this one. I'm still working on that cloaking issue and whether I can actually open the veil and walk through like they do, because they've been teaching to me this stuff. So this is my day. They're running with me next to my truck, and then I realize the whole clan's running. It's just not one guy. It's the mom, it's the babies, it's the kids, and they're all running. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm seeing hands, I'm seeing feet, I'm seeing smiles, and feeling the joy, and they're just giving it to me all the way up to green water until I get to green water, and then it stops. It goes quiet again. Okay, so is it a different clan on the way up to green water than it is at green water? I don't know. Because they're not reacting the same way. Once I get out of my truck and I start walking in the woods, they're not acting the same way. How are they acting? I don't really know. I'm trying to get them to get out. They're shy again. They're back to not showing themselves. I sense that they're there. I'll take a picture. Once I take a picture and I'll go back and look at the picture, I can blow it up and I can find that they're there. And I can circle and show people the image that I see because I know they're there. I just don't see them with my eyes. What my camera picks up is different than what my eyes pick up. Now, I understand because I've never really seen, in my visions, I always see black and white. I never see color. I've asked for years to see color in my visions, but I don't. I see black and white. And that's just, I guess that's the way I am. Black and white, no color. So, this is Grey Wolf, still trying to figure this all out. Still trying to work with the Sasquatch people. Still trying to get them to sit down with me and just have a conversation. Sit around the fire, come have a hot dog, whatever they want to do. Just sit down, relax, show themselves. I mean, I see them, I know they're there. You know, I know everything about them. I know them, You know, they've shown themselves to me. They've come out to my sweat lodge. They've screamed. They've hollered. They've shook the lodge. I had a lot of interesting experiences at my sweat lodge out in Snohomish. And my third encounter. And that'll be another one for another day because this video is getting a little long. So, with that, Grey Wolf signing off. Grey Wolf channel. Have a good day. Blessed be. Go in spirit.